I feel guilty, you guys. Lately, I feel as though I don't do enough for y'all. I don't do a lot of the things other iRacing YouTubers do. I don't host special events. I don't host leagues. I don't even really stream that much anymore. That changes today. I'm making this video asking for y'all's help. I want our community to grow because, well, I don't know if you've noticed, but drivers have been really angry, egotistical, and toxic lately. I want us to change this mentality and hopefully make iRacing a little bit cooler for everyone. I'm so beyond grateful and blessed for having all of you guys support me for so long. I mean, simply put, I don't have the words to express how much gratitude I have for y'all. I mean, y'all enrich my lives on a level that I can't even tell you. That being said, I want to get much more involved with our community for you guys. For a while now, I've wanted to host a league, but I've been worried I would fail and it just wouldn't attract very many people. But I think I found a solution. What I want to do is make the most diverse league ever. Stay with me on this. It will utilize all license classes and will host a wide variety of races. Some quite regular and tame, and others very unusual. I went through a couple of ideas. One, bring back the Wheel of Fortitude and make it a league. That was my original plan from the beginning. It was kind of obvious as it already has kind of a reputation in the community. But sometimes the race combinations of cars and tracks, it would get so crazy that nobody would even want to really try. If dirt cars ended up on oval and tires would blow after 3 laps and stuff and things like that. It would just be kind of nuts. If you could, and number 2, if you can believe it, I actually had 45 separate ideas for a league. I mean, how do you decide? How do you just pick one? So number 3, I had an idea. Combine these 2 things. Let each, quote, idea that I had for a league be its own race, and use the Wheel of Fortitude to decide which race is next. And when a race is chosen and ran, it's eliminated from the wheel in the future. I'll be adding a few classic Wheel of Fortitude wheel slices, if you will, where you guys it'll be like the old days where you guys chose a car and track, and it'll kind of be like a wild card week, if you will. I might put 7 of those wheel slices in there just to make it an even 52-week race league. Now, obviously, 52 weeks, that's a year, just to make it an entire year. That's quite a friggin' commitment, so I don't expect anybody to actually run all of those. So what I'm gonna do, instead of making a, quote, official league on iRacing, I want to make it to where there's no commitment and you are free to join and race as often as you like. Instead, what I'll do is I'll make it a weekly hosted event, and I will personally keep track of everyone's points on a spreadsheet. And even if you're racing just one league race, it'll be tracked. And you're welcome to join as often as you like. What I might have to do in the future, if this really takes off, is I may have to do it on a first join, first served basis, just in that event that it really gets a lot of attention. I haven't set up the rules, the day, the time, or anything like that yet, but if you join my Discord, and the link will be in the description, I'll be creating a league section very soon after I see what you guys say after a couple days and use that information to make any modifications that need to be done. And that'll have all the info you need. A couple things I can tell you now is it'll be free for everyone. I'm not going to charge anyone to race. I just want to provide a place for some fun and you can escape the reality that we call this world. So that all being said, let's get into the races, and I really want to hear what you guys think of these. Let me have your honest opinions. If you think it's stupid, don't be afraid to let me know. Let's get into it. All right, first one on this list is 87s on dirt. And one thing I want to say real quick is, depending on how crazy the race is, I may need to adjust if there's any damage, any fast repairs, any yellow flags, that kind of thing. Those rules will be given before the race is run, so you guys will know. Just to keep it sane for some of these, I may have to make adjustments with that. As much as I don't like your fast repairs and stuff, sometimes it is necessary. But the first one here is 87s on dirt, which is very simple. You just take a bunch of 87s and go on a dirt oval. This is actually a league that I thought about running for a while, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's not a car that does that bad on dirt, so I think that's a good one. Another thing I want to remind you guys is the names are not set in stone, nor are the tracks that I may have listed on them, but this is just a base idea kind of thing. Second one is JDSA. And why I call it that is because it's a play on IMSA. Instead of using those road cars like GTPs and GT3 cars, it's the NASCAR version where we take 87s, street stocks, and mini stocks. And I think that event will be probably at Michigan. And you'll be racing against your class essentially and scored accordingly. So next, JD Rock, which is kind of like IROC. I don't know if you're seeing a theme here, but again, the names are not set in stone. That's just, it helps me remember what it is. So this will take place probably at Charlotte, and it will utilize the Corvette C6Rs. And this one's really fun because me and the guys have actually run this race a few times, and these cars are pretty fun here. I think it'll be a good time. Oh boy, now we got something that makes me a little sad. One of the first purchases I ever made was the Formula Renault 3.5, actually. It's the first three things I bought. One of them was the Formula Renault 3.5. It's a really fun car. Probably going to take this to Interlagos. Yeah, this one's kind of for me, I'll be honest, because it just reminds me of those old Formula cars of maybe the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's not too hard to control, but I'm so sad that iRacing discontinued this car. And looking forward to taking that car out. Next is actually another idea that I thought about having for a league at one point, which is taking the street stocks on a road course. And another time that we've run this as just clowning around with the guys was we took these at Sonoma, and they performed pretty well there. It was a lot of fun. Really don't know if these setups will be fixed or open. I will probably have no choice but to make them open just because of how crazy they can be, and there's might be no option for a fixed setup, so just keep that in mind. The next race is actually pretty tame. It's going to be the GT3s at Watkins Glen Full with the chicane and the boot, or bus stop, whatever you want to call it. Watkins Glen is considered the super speedway of road courses, so that one should be pretty fun. Next, we have an idea that I actually got from Derek Sivers, a very good friend of mine. So credit goes to him for this idea. We will host a actual spectator drag race. And for those of you who don't know what a spectator drag is it'll be like a single elimination, one-on-one tournament style race where you go against somebody and run maybe 2 or 3 laps, and whoever wins moves on, and whoever's winning at the end is the winner. And as you get eliminated will be your position and how you're scored for points. Next is I want to run a legit Daytona 500 in the Gen 4s. Why the Gen 4s? Because, well, I mean, everyone does the Gen 6s, the next gens, and the 87s, so I'm going to pick the Gen 4s. I don't see anybody do that, so that should be a lot of fun. Next is going to be the Super Formula Lights, and I think that's going to be at Spa. The Super Formula Lights have actually been a pretty little happy spot for me, seeing the Formula Renault 3.5s going. I love the Super Formula Lights. I highly recommend you guys give them a try if you haven't. Definitely not a car that's too hard to control, and taking it to a place like Spa should be a lot of fun. Good classic racetrack and a lot of different types of turns in there, so I'm really excited for that one. Next, we're going to go to Daytona Road Course, and it's going to be Formula 1 versus IndyCar. You get to pick either Formula 1 car or an Indy car. It's whichever one you'll be racing against your other cars of your class and scored as such. So That'll be fun. Then we have what I'm gonna call the Cinderblock 250. It's just to play on the Brickyard. So what it is it'll probably be 100 laps at Indianapolis. Probably gonna do the Indy cars. It'll be a pretty legit race. No fast repairs in that one for sure. Like I said, depending on how these cars or these races are, it'll determine whether or not there's fast repairs, cautions, or any damage at all, really. Some of them will have to have some of those things turned off, but overall, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Next, I'm going to poke at AJ a little bit and call this race AJ's Redemption, which is we're going to take the next gens and go to Bristol. AJ has a real hard time. Seems like every time that I've seen him take that car there, he gets wrecked like crazy. So that's why I'm calling it that. Sorry, AJ, just poking a little bit of fun at you, bud. Next, we're going to have the NASCAR Past and Present race, which is essentially where we take the 87s, the Gen 6s, Next Gens, and Gen 4s, and go to Darlington. That'll be a little bit of a harder race, but I think that'd be a good place to take those, and that's where we're going with those. Now, this one's going to be a little crazy. This is Oval Havoc, and it's just going to be 12 random classes at Pocono. And I kind of chose Pocono because it's a pretty long, wide open track. Shouldn't be too hard to pass there. But either way, that's going to be kind of nuts. I may need to adjust some things to make that one kind of sane, but should be a little bit of fun. This is a nostalgic one here. I just have it listed as the beginning because this is actually how I got to know Stevens Motorsports and ICW Gaming, because we took we took the Next Gen, I think the Xfinity, the 87s, and the Gen 4. Maybe it was the ARCA. We didn't even have the Gen 4, I think, back then. And we ran around Monza Oval. That is such a fun track. And we called it, well, Corn called it his death races. So this is actually his original idea. I'm just going to be making an event dedicated to it. Pretty nuts. I'll probably have to turn damage off for that one. Next is what I have labeled as the Dirt Fiesta. And all that is 12 classes of dirt cars on Bristol Dirt. And I already tested that. Bristol Dirt is a pretty forgiving dirt oval. So I think for something crazy like that, it'll probably have to be a forgiving track for something like that. Next is going to be a rally, taking the rally cars on a dirt oval. And I think they're going to go to Lanier. I think that'd be a good track for it. I ran a few laps with it, and it wasn't that hard to control. So that'll be pretty cool. After that, it'll probably going to take the dirt street stocks on a rally course, like Dirt Roval or something. May need to make some adjustments for that because it's really hard to take dirt oval cars onto a road course because they just burn up tires like crazy. But we'll see how that goes. And again, none of these are in a set order, so it's all done by the wheel. The wheel will be choosing which order we do it in, so just keep that in mind. Next is an event that Robin actually used to do. She ran a league called Truckin' with Robin, and I did win the league. I'm just saying. But anyway, it's gonna be trucks at iRacing Super Speedway. I'm actually shocked how fast those things get up to, but that'll be that event. Definitely something I'm sure a lot of people have run in the past, and we'll just go from there. Now we have the Short Track Rumble. Probably going to go to Martinsville here, and what it is it'll be an assortment of short track cars, and like always you'll be racing against your class and scored accordingly. This one will be probably really nuts, and but sometimes that's fun. And now we got something that is something I would never run, but yet here we are, and it is Pure Speed, which is we're gonna take the Dallara IR01s and take it to New Daytona. People will die. That's all I have to say about that one. This one is a little different. I think we're gonna take the Xfinity cars, go to Dover, and it's going to be a lap knockout. So after every 2 or 3 laps, whoever's in last will be knocked out of the race. I've heard people talk about this kind of race before, and it just seems kind of fun to do one week. All right, this one's just dumb, but I'm gonna put it on here anyway. This is a bit of a destruction derby. Damage, I can tell you for this one, damage will be off. You're like, well, how do we determine the winner or loser? I'm going to have an assortment of 12 or 13 different cars that you can choose from. And basically to get someone out, you knock him out of the track or flip him upside down. That happens, you're out. And I think it'd be interesting to see some people's strategies on that, depending on what car they choose. Okay, now we have what I call snacking in the rain, because it all has to do with food around here, am I right? Basically, this is going to be an IMSA race at the road course at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's a lot of fun. That is actually one of my favorite road courses. And but it's going to be absolutely wet and pouring down rain for that race. And should be a good time. No, it won't be. Next is just going to be the wing sprint cars at Cedar Lake. Probably the 305s. Those are the easiest one to control. I think it'd be good to have at least one good sprint car race in there. So that's what this event's going to be. Next, I have this labeled as I hate this. I basically chose my least favorite car and my least favorite track and made a race out of it, which is the Dirt Late model at Eldora. I can't even keep it straight on that. So that's for you dirt guys. That'll be a pretty tame one for you guys because I know that's actually a really popular combination. So I went ahead and throw that in, even though I hate it. Next is called Rally the Troops, and that's going to be a rally race at Daytona Dirt, whatever the rally course race is at Daytona. It'll probably be the longer version. I know some of them have long and short versions. I can't remember if Daytona has one of those, but that's probably where that one will be. Oh, okay. I put this one down as returning home. Basically, for those of you who don't know, I recently left Florida, Pensacola. I used to live within 5 minutes to Five Flags Speedway. And basically this will just be super late models at Five Flags. And I have it just labeled as returning home. That makes me sad. Oh, you guys know I gotta put this one in here. Welcome to probably the special event that I wanted to do for the longest time. And that is the Dreams Go to Die 250, which will be the 87s at Dega. Probably, what is it? How many laps do they do there? 188, so 94 laps at Talladega. Have fun with that. Next, we have Sprint Cars versus Silver Crowns. This was actually an idea that Korn and I had a long time ago. We ran tests with it at Talladega. The problem was the Silver Crowns did fine at Dega, but the Sprint Cars, once they got close to 190, you couldn't hold it in a straight line. So this one I have scheduled for Richmond right now. I've driven both those cars at Richmond and they're quite doable, but I think that'd be an interesting combo. That's something that I've thought about for a long time. All right, blame Dennis for this one. I told him, I said, I want to take the modifieds because a while back we took the modifieds and took them to Nürburgring and it was surprisingly fun. So I asked him, I said, give me a road course that you think the modifieds would be fun at. And he actually said Bathurst. So that's what this one is, modifieds on Bathurst. I think it'll be a lot more fun than it sounds. Next is actually a car that I'm surprised it kind of died quickly, didn't it? The SRXs at Laguna Seca. I've seen them on short ovals and dirt ovals, but I've never really seen them on a road course. Tested it and they did okay. I think Laguna Seca is kind of forgiving because it has a lot of dirt, so they go off track, it should be okay. Oh, you know I gotta have a figure 8 race. This will be with the MX-5s. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I don't know if I should have damage on and then have fast repairs or just have damage off. I really don't know how this is going to be run yet, but there will be a figure 8 race with the jump. I just had to put that in. Next, we have the mini Formula event. Probably going to go to Coda for this one. This seems like a good track for it. It'll probably be the Rays Formula, the Formula Vs, and the Skippies. They all kind of, they don't really outperform each other, so you might end up in some big packs there, but yeah, I had to have a little mini Formula race in there. Next, we have the Lotus Party. Basically, Lotus 49s, Lotus 79s at Atlanta. Try not to touch anything. That's all I can say with this one. Next, we have the Wing Sprints, big and small. Basically, what it is it's going to be the midgets, the micro sprints, and the big sprint cars all together. Since AI isn't enabled for dirt cars, I can't really fully show it off in this video here, so I just had to take one. It was actually kind of tricky getting all this footage. But yeah, that's what that'll be at Lincoln. Lincoln's a really cool dirt oval. Next is a track combo that we've actually had a lot of fun with. I mean, we do this a lot. A lot of these are stuff that we've actually done before and just screwing around in hosted events. Is going to be probably the trucks at Wild West. I think the Pro 2s are probably what we're going to use. It's a ton of fun. Wild West is a fun track. Just don't get caught cheating, because you can cut the course at it. I don't remember how this one came into existence. I have it labeled as Cops and Robbers, and I don't remember who gave me this idea, but I wrote it down. I think you take, what'd they say here? You take, everyone's in street stocks and mini stocks, and there's one GTP Nissan ZXT going around flipping people over and stuff. Basically, it's kind of like Destruction Derby, where there's one person standing. By the way, which both those events will be at the Centripetal circuit. Centripetal? I don't know. You know which one I'm talking about. Next, we're just going to have a regular ARCA race at Rockingham. Rockingham is tons of fun, and I think tire strategy will be a big deal there. Again, that's one of the tame ones. All right, if you guys don't know about Monza combined with no chicanes, this is your chance. This might be one of the most underrated road courses in my opinion. It's so fast. There's only a couple turns you even need to brake for. And we're gonna go there in the Super Formulas. And this one's really fun. We've taken many cars and run this many times in just some hosted events, but with no chickens, as we call it, no chicanes, it is a really fun track, especially when you combine it with the oval. Very underrated, and I'm really excited for that one. So you guys remember the spectator drag race, where it's kind of like single elimination tournament style stuff? I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a drag strip on Sonoma, and I think it would be fun to take a car. I really don't know which one. I have the street stock here. Maybe that'd be a good one, but we'll have to figure out a car to take for this one, but just to do drag races for a night and see who wins. All right, this one's silly. I don't even know why I put this on here. A couple nights ago, a couple of the guys were thinking more ideas, and someone said, forgive me who, because I can't remember who it was, Fast and the Furious Le Mans. Do you guys remember the beginning of the first Fast and the Furious, where there's 4 cars racing along that long straightaway? Well, we happen to have a super long straightaway, and kind of like the other ones, it'll be an event where winner moves on, and you're scored according to your finish position, and points are given out that way. Kind of silly, but why not? This is just crazy. Another one that I can't remember whose idea it was. A lot of these were people just friends of mine who had ideas, and I can't believe that I can't remember, because there's a lot of us in there who said what. So please forgive me for that, guys. But this will be the SCCA cars at LA Coliseum, kind of like a go-kart track. I'm surprised with this one. I think it'll be fun. And of course, I can't not have a race dedicated to Dad. The Fatherball 200, which is his personal favorite car at his personal favorite track, Gen 6s at Auto Club. Please don't wreck the old guy in this one. All right, last and certainly not least, I want y'all to stay with me on this one, okay? Because I'm gonna lose you a couple times. 87s at Nürburgring. For those of you who've been watching my channel for a long time, you guys know that is like my dream combo. I know it sounds stupid, and a lot of times I go there to unwind and relax. I've logged 500-600 laps there in that car. I want to host a race event there, and I'm going to call it the Day to Night 87s at Nürburgring race. And the name needs work, I know, but I want you to stay with me. We're not going to be running it for like 12 hours, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to crank up the time acceleration to like ×8. It'll be like an hour-and-a-half, 2-hour race. But I would really like, I know not a lot of people are going to run it. I still would like to run it anyway, just because. I don't know, maybe I'll be shocked when we get tons of participation for that one. Damage will obviously be off and no cautions or anything, and it's just because that's a really hard combo. But I do have a setup for it that I think does pretty well, and so I'll make sure to share that. It's quite a lot of insanity, isn't it? Like I said, I don't think anyone's ever done something like this before, and I could be completely out of my mind trying to even attempt this, and I haven't decided exactly how I'll upload this as a series, but trust me, it'll be a video series. I might just run in it myself and upload it from my point of view, but if I'm lucky enough, I'll get to broadcast it and hire a race control, and maybe even occasionally get some guest broadcasters. And I think that's how I would like to do it, and just see who wins. I want to make a really good kind of prize thing for the end. I gotta figure that part out still. There's a lot I still have to figure out, but this is the first step. I just want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Does this sound like fun? Let me know which ones you guys think are really good ideas, which are really bad. Am I completely out of my mind? I want your honest opinions, and I'd be grateful for any feedback that you have. Like I said before, I want our community to grow, and even iRacing as a whole. I sincerely appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and I ask that you leave a comment with any ideas you have or any feedback, like I said. I think this will be a lot of fun. I love you guys. Take care, and God bless.